morning everyone, it's Pam here from Camper Jazz, and it's Friday morning and we're just about to head off to the garage to go and get the car checked out again, to see if he can determine what is causing the whistling brake. Fingers crossed, because the noise is like someone blowing a referee's whistle in your ear when you're driving along. So wish us luck, and I'll get back to you shortly. We're on the move, and this is Tarbert North Pier, where there are some old boat wrecks. Quite interesting to look at. Yes, the brakes are done. I'll fill you in more on that in a minute. But this is the base of the Crinnan Canal, Ardrashag, and mini kelpies for you to take a look at here. So it is Friday evening and we are at Loch Gilpeed. I'm told that's how you say it by the local butcher, so I'll go with what he says. There's one big long street with a couple of little bits running off it, and then another section of shops along the loch front. It's really pretty, and it's also got a lovely big play area on the front, and plenty of shops, local butchers, bakers, hardware store, co-op, Morrison's. So plenty to choose from for your shopping. And yes, I have a working car. No, we haven't solved the problem. The garage stripped off the brakes again, had a look at the wheel that was causing me the issue, but he can't find anything wrong with it. It starts to happen and then it goes away again. So at the moment we're none the wiser. And there's a nice cross as a war memorial also on the loch front. There's been a lot of time to think about what I'm doing next this week. I'm sorry I'm looking a bit windswept, but we've just got back in the car and the dogs are quiet, so I thought I'd make the most of the opportunity to do a little bit of recording. When you've had a woolly hat on, it doesn't do much for the hair look, so apologies. Anyway, it's Saturday morning. It's a bit dank and murky, but never mind. We are on the road to Crinnan. Now, I stayed along the Crinnan Canal last year for quite a few nights, and it is a beautiful area. But as you can see, this is winter. These highlands are up to the top of their knees in mud, and that is generally what most of the canal is looking like. But never fear, we found a dry spot to stay the night, and this was the park up, so it's not too bad. It's got a gravel hard standing, and Sunday morning, and it's turned out beautiful. So we're going to drive up to Crinnan only because they are replacing the lock gates. I know it won't be pretty, but I just was interested to take a look and see what work they've done. So the hotel on the main road as you come into the village is open. Most other things are closed, as all the work lorries are there to put the new sea lock gates on. So here we are, and what a difference to the Crinnan that I sat and enjoyed last year. This is Monday morning. It's not as nice as yesterday, and as you can see, the dry dock is a mud bath. I can't see any signs up saying when the work will be done. While we were here, we did spot a lovely heron, so I've tried to get a few bits of video on him. He was just waddling around in the mud. I think it was fair to leave you with the impression of Crinnan as just a dry, empty loch. So I found a few photos that I took last summer that I thought might show it you in its true glory. And I, for one, will most certainly be heading back to Crinnan when they have finished putting the new sea lock gates on, because it's a beautiful little place. And we've come just 8 miles from Loch to the beautiful Kilmartin Glen, a very ancient site around here with numerous cairns and burial tombs, and Kilmartin Church itself has an amazing collection of sculptured gravestones, and I'm going to take you for a little wander around now. It's really not spooky being in a graveyard. This one is very well looked after with a wonderful display. And way over in the distance you'll be able to maybe pick out one of the cairns, and between the gap in the trees is the circle of standing stones at Netherlargy. And I've slipped in the photos I took there. The video was absolutely useless because we were in a field of sheep, very interesting sheep that kept coming quite close, and obviously I had Ted and Lolly with me, so rather than walk all the way back to the car and come back again, I just took some quick photos and we made a hasty departure. They are very interesting and not far to walk from the car park. Easy walk to these and you can get right up close to them. And just as we were leaving, this was my only usable bit of video with the sheep off in the distance now. I photographed all the information posts so that if anyone wants to read them, you can just pause and zoom in on your device. And if not, then you can just scroll along to the next bit. So back in the graveyard, the Loch enclosure is the first thing we're going to look at. And I think you'll agree that these grave slabs are in remarkable condition for their ages. Now I've tried to close in a bit so you can get an idea of the detail still on them. They go back to the 1600s. Out in all weathers, and the Scottish weather isn't always very kind, so I think they really have weathered the test of time. And just ahead is the building that houses the sculptured gravestones. And I've included the photos that I took here so that if you wanted to zoom in on any of the detail, that's a lot easier than it is using a video. So if you don't want to see them, scroll by, but for those that are interested, you can look at the finer detail on the stones. So back on the green outside the churchyard, and I'm afraid I'm picking myself up with my iPad taking the pictures on here. And it's a pretty little village surrounding the church and the newly built Kilmartin Museum. Unfortunately, it said it was open, but when I got there it was closed. You could walk down to the cairn at the rear of the museum, but unfortunately at the moment there is no access to the inside. And as you drive out of Kilmartin village, you will come across a little parking spot to walk up to Carnassery Castle. So I want to introduce you to one of my favourite little stops on the way from Arran on the road up to Oban. Loch Hotel, Cafe, Gift Shop and Plant Centre. I have stopped here a few times. I've never actually used the hotel. Well, I've had a coffee there once, but the walk down to the loch is lovely. And it's a great place to stretch your legs. There is Ardeline Gardens, a National Trust next door. Unfortunately, it never seems to be open when I visit. This year it's because it doesn't open until the 1st of April. Last year it was because it had storm damage and it was closed when I visited in, I think it was May, after a storm had brought down some trees and the paths weren't safe. But I'm going to take you for a walk down past the Highland cows onto the little jetty, and you can see what the crazy dogs are getting up to as well. Hello, Danny. Hello. And you, Ted. Yes, and you. Highland cows wandering through the mud. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, girls, boys? Yeah, sun's out. It's a bit too strong for me to camera right there. Get a picture, but we're down on the beach. Down on the beach. Lolly. Where's Lolly. Hello, darling. Hey. Hello, sweetie. So we're wandering back at now, and the Highland cows have come over a bit closer, but you can really see what it's like for them walking through that mud. I'll zoom in if I can now without making her go away. So guys, as we make our way from Arran up to Oban, I'm hoping that our next stop will be to Easdale and Seal Island, taking the bridge over the Atlantic. It's the slate mining area, so I have been there before, but I haven't stayed over, so we'll see what the weather's like and what the ground is like, and decide whether to stay at either Easdale or Seal Island. Other than that, I would just like to say that I have got a few changes planned for the channel. My week on Tarbert Harbour got me thinking I would like to start actually recording my daily life in the car. I tend to do everything on video and then split it up into 1 or 2 videos a week. But I thought it might be quite a good idea to do like a daily blog. That's Ted just finishing his breakfast there. So my idea at the moment is to do a daily blog that I'm going to start from maybe around the Easter time, because I've been jotting down things that I've been doing over the last month or so while I've been away, and I've realised sometimes I don't know what I did on that day, and I think, well, I could make this like a little travel diary. So at the moment, that's my general idea. Now, you may hate having a daily video, but they won't be very long. Rather than having like 2 20-minute videos in the week, you'll be breaking them down to maybe 5 or 6 minutes at a time. Give me your thoughts on that. Tell me whether you prefer having 2 longer videos a week, or whether you'd quite enjoy having the daily videos, seeing a bit more of what goes on, taking the dogs for a walk, a bit of car cooking, a bit of the setup and takedown of things in the car, and just generally areas that we pass through, places that we park up. If you could like, share and subscribe on the video if you're not already. Don't forget, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. And if you click the little bell, even better, because you'll get told when the next video has come out. You won't have to go scrolling through YouTube to find it. Okay, I'm going to leave you there for now as we plan to move on to the bridge over the Atlantic.